Hello, Boris Pravisham here. Welcome to the Nidd Whitelist server. This is Season 2. I just realized one of these spotlights is not working. Not that it really matters. I mean, it's not like this is a... Oh, come on. There we go. Yes, that was all Spider-Man doing. All of this. It was a sane colour at one point. You would have seen that in the last episode. I am recording this on Sunday the 24th of May, so it's going to be probably about a week before you see it. So I'm thinking what I'll do throughout the week, because we've got a whole bunch of stuff lined up, so that's the first opportunity I have to upload this. I'm going to sort of show little snippets of what I'm doing, so that way I don't just appear with a fully set up base in a week's time. The first thing that we did was to work off this starting platform. Nordic Beast is way off out there, nearly, closer to 24 kilometers out that way. I have no idea where Drunk Spider-Man is, but he does have a base here somewhere. The rest of us, I think, have all mostly collected around here for the moment. That pink thing is Anubis's thing. I think that's the only way you can describe that. But yes, he built a drilling ship. Let's see if I can disconnect here, because I will be using it in a second. So the... it's a drilling ship, but the drills are backwards. I have no idea why he thought that would be a good idea. I think he's like me in that when there's a group of other people around, he gets distracted and does silly things, because I haven't... Well, up until now, I haven't done anything worthwhile on this server. I haven't actually built anything. So I think he got distracted while building this design, because... Why? It's difficult to use. He might, at this point, argue, like shouting at the video, saying that there's a camera there and there's a remote control block. You can control it the other way around if you like. Yes, but the camera's in there, so when drilling, all you can see is the asteroid and dust and chunks of rock flying in your face. So, yeah. I think drilling ships are the one ship that you can't really remote control terribly well. Or if you do, then they sort of have to be on autopilot going through a rock, and they have to be designed for that. But these sorts of drilling ships where you're sort of in control, I think you kind of need to be at the helm. If you're in first-person mode only, then I think it needs to be like a Cell ship up here, where it would be easier at this point if I just got out, because there's not enough power to power all those thrusters and the drills, so it goes slowly and stops even slower. But yeah, you have to be up here. I wonder if I can get into this. No. We do have to sort out all the faction stuff yet. Yeah, so you can see the drills when you're in first person like that. I think that's the only way to do it, because otherwise you just run into the asteroid all the time. Anyway, that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. This is supposed to be quick. I didn't do anything of worth up until yesterday, when I started to build this ship. It's called Ugly Barry. I think the ugly is self-explanatory. I built this for about half an hour in creative mode. I find it very difficult now. I kind of elaborated on that. I don't know if I'll include it in the video yet, because I haven't edited it. Yes, but I find it difficult to build in survival now, because it's complicated. There's quite a few systems that you need to work into a ship, which isn't a negative criticism. I quite like that, but that does make creative mode, I think, quite essential in survival gameplay, so that you can design these sorts of ships and then bring them in. Not that I spent much time actually designing this. It's all very straightforward. It's just a whole bunch of assemblers. There's a couple of refineries. I think there's 3 assemblers. There's a couple of arc furnaces there as well. There's a big reactor in there. I tried to make sure that it had more power than it needed, and I think I might put some solar panels on here as well. And there's a kind of alright amount of thrust going backwards, so if it's... Sorry about the background noises, by the way. I am recording this in the middle of the day, which I don't usually do here in my new place, because it's quite noisy. And it being a Sunday in Australia, even in the middle of winter, when the grass doesn't grow very much, it means pretty much every single human being that has ever existed on this continent is out mowing their lawn. In the summer, you have to be doing it, once or twice a week otherwise you might as well live in the jungle of Borneo. So yes, sorry about all the noise. Anyway, as you might notice, there's only 3 up on a ship this size. It's quite a heavy ship, so it's not going to be maneuverable. This is just a mobile base. It's so that I don't have to do that all the time. Have this little, cheaty platform where I can start off on. It means that I can fly my ship up, and then I can plan my base from the start. Well, not necessarily plan, but I can start it with my first idea without having to build this little area in the middle that just looks bad and has all this essential stuff, and then I never get around to moving it away. So this will force me to straight away build a refinery room, build an assembly room, that kind of stuff, in order to get my base up and running, because I do want to build a base again. I think that's what I want my main contribution on this server to be at the moment. Because I really like base building. Sal isn't so much into base building. She likes to build ships. She sort of starts with her little monstrosity, as she calls it, and then slowly works her way up and refines them and makes them better, and gets a whole collection more. So I'm going to have a big hangar in my place, and a place underneath to store larger ships and stuff like that, so that if she wants to use that, she can. And I'm assuming the payment will be that I get to fly and crash her ships, kind of like what I'm going to do to Anubis' ship in a moment. Yeah, so this isn't a mobile, it isn't a terribly well-designed ship. It's just what I'm going to use, and I think it'll come in handy in the future as well. I have got it sealed in for oxygen. I don't know terribly well how oxygen and stuff works. I'm hoping this will work. If we come down here, then we've got the gravity generator there. Everything behind that wall, hopefully these things are airtight. Yes, but everything behind that wall is sort of all refineries and assemblers. And then I've got this double doorway here. Obviously it's not finished yet. The reason it's not finished is I need more materials, which is what I'm going to do in a second. And there we go. That's the entry and exit right underneath there, which is a bit of an odd choice. But like I said, I didn't really plan this. It was just half an hour in creative one day, and I just threw this together. But yes, I am going to start drilling now. We have a bit of a platinum crisis here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start drilling, and from now all of my resources, even though I just stole all the resources from that, but I did mine quite a lot of them myself, so I don't feel as bad, but I'm going to start piling resources into this thing so that when I move I've got them. But yes, that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go away and drill on Anubis' ship and start, carving out some stuff. There's an asteroid, like a moon asteroid, not far. It might be that one, or it might be down there somewhere. It's got quite a few things, so I think I'm just going to completely eat it. I think that's all to show off at the moment. So I think I'll cut away now, and I'll come back when the next half-interesting thing happens. It is now 9 hours and 3 days since the last little clip that you watched. This isn't a game for the faint of heart, is it? I'm going to have to go in and get those little bits of colour. It's annoying that you have to kind of weld out if you see in... Oh, no, there. See in there? Yeah, you have to actually weld stuff out to paint them. It's a bit annoying. I don't know how to overcome it, though, so I shouldn't complain. Yeah, so it didn't take me 9 hours to paint this. It's taken me that long to mine, to find the stuff in order to finish this, because it was basically finished. The only things... See, I haven't even finished. You can see the thrusters there haven't been finished completely. I have no idea about the paint job, by the way. I'm just trying things. Although my my sort of logo, in quotes, is red and black, they were never really intended to sort of be my colours. There were just two colours that were there at the time, I guess. But like on this, I don't really have any preference for colors, but on this server and just generally who I play with, Anubis is red, Drakor is both red and blue, but red's probably primary. Ace, who's on this server by the way, he's red, so it makes sense to choose something other than red, so I'm going to go with blue. I've put a stripe of blue down the middle. I really don't like this. Anyway, yeah, so I can't find platinum. I found little bits and pieces. Why is that not welded? And how did I weld that? I didn't think I had anything. That's odd. So we'll go inside the ugly Barry. It's oxygen... is oxygenated the right word? That's definitely not the right word. I started... See, sensors need platinum as well, apparently. I started thinking, oh, I can, write up a little script or something and make this so that it, or even just use the in-game sensor. I didn't really think it through properly, because, yeah, I thought I could have a system that sort of turns everything on, and opens the doors and everything automatically so I don't lose any oxygen, have that all done automatically. But then I remembered the keep it simple principle. I could just press 2 buttons. There's really no need to do any of that. So this is the inside. I've got a med bay, a gravity generator. I've got a spot behind there, that empty spot. I can put something there. I can put stuff in here as well. That bit's not painted. I don't really care at the moment. I can put some things up in there as well. That's not used. There's empty space. So there's room for expansion. That was the point. A couple more gyros. I put them that way because the yellow lines look better. There's that thing. I should take my helmet off. Cryo chamber, and that button turns that thing on and off. I don't know how oxygen works. I did this just before I started recording, so I haven't looked it up yet. But I thought if I left it on like that, it would be wasting the ice in the oxygen generator behind it by constantly pumping it out, but it doesn't seem to pump it out unless it's needed. I'm not sure if that's actually the case, though, which is why I've been turning it off until I find out, because my oxygen's fine with it off. Anyway, let's get in and fly this thing. So there. Yeah, it's not a particularly good ship. It's just what I've thrown together, but I'll continue to add things to it. Where is Anubis' mining ship? Because that's what I use to do all the mining. I've only been on for a little while today, just putting the, welding up a few bits on the ship. I've spent the last 3 days just mining with his ship, so I've got plenty of stuff, as you might imagine. There's a few things in here. That'll be plenty of uranium to keep me going for a little while, I think. All of that. So there's, not as much as I'd like, but that's a pretty decent amount. It's just I'm missing a few key resources. We're going to have a look at this asteroid over here. We could probably go a little bit faster, couldn't we? I'm just not entirely sure about the stop. This is the first time I've flown the ship, so that stopping power should be alright. I have been just looking for the resources that I need. Platinum especially. I really couldn't find any platinum. I've been to 7 asteroids now. I resorted to... There was a little bit on one of the little moons. I think it was over on that one. There was a little bit over there. So I took that, and that was enough to do maybe one of the large thrusters. I resorted to catching ships. You can catch mining carriages and private sails pretty easily by hand. No need for anything else. I say easily. It's easy without lag. With lag, it's rather difficult because the ship's going forward at about 30 meters a second. So in order for me to say weld this block here that I just bumped into, I have to be around about here to compensate for about the 320 millisecond lag that I have to this server. So actually grinding down the cockpit in order to sit in it and then put on the inertia dampeners to stop it requires me dismantling the entire ship and rebuilding bits of it to get to the cargo to the cockpit so I can get in. And like the private sail, the only way I can catch that is by getting rid of the large cargo container towards the front, if you know what it looks like, which means that the front half of the ship just disconnects. Like the only thing holding it on is that cargo container. So the only way I can get it in is to cut the ship in half. So I lose about half the resources, and then it all flies everywhere. And if I, slowly drift to the side, then away goes something important. And yeah, it's a bit difficult. But yeah, that's how I got those thrusters working, is by just catching both of those, the mining carriages. That's even harder. I just grind down the thrusters. I don't even bother to get into that. I have to come up with a different way to do that. That's definitely ice, isn't it? I haven't really learnt what ice looks like. Yeah, I'm looking for a place to set up my base. I quite like this one of these two, that asteroid down there, because it's, you can see everything up there, and it's within an easy flying distance of the central place. But that in turn might be a bad thing, because if I can see it, then it's not unloaded. And that means that when this world gets a lot busier, with a lot more things built, that area is going to have the communal station on it, which I'll talk about in a second. But that could get fairly big, and someone will probably take that asteroid and be my neighbor. So, or vice versa, if I take the one down there and like that one more. It could get a little bit busy, and it might be a little bit resource intensive in here. But I'm thinking of maybe making this a forward base. Just starting low. You can see me carving out the uranium there. With the small ships, I like to carve around the edges and then slowly make my way in. I don't know why. I just find it more entertaining to do the very boring job that mining is. I like the location, but I'm thinking of maybe not building inside the asteroid. I have a good few ideas for building on the inside and then having things sticking out. I've had a few ideas for moving stuff, but maybe if I perch my stuff on top of here and connect them with tunnels, so they're kind of like a primitive colony. So you'd have your little hut here, and a tunnel that goes to another hut that has a different purpose. Maybe I could do that and sort of work my way across and a little bit into the asteroid, sort of perch on top. I could build a base just away from asteroids entirely, but I don't know, I quite like building on something. I don't know which one. I mean, I'd ask for your opinion, but by the time this video goes out, I'll probably have decided. Maybe I could set up on one of the moons. They're not that big. Maybe link a couple of moons together. I don't know. I'll probably go with this one. I just like the look of it a bit better. And then I kind of want to build in an asteroid again, but oh, well. So between now and the next episode, I'm intending to find platinum, because we all really need platinum, and I'm going to start constructing a little bit of a base. I'm going to record some of the building process. Another series, the Merry Friends series that I've got with Merry Gamer, Ace, Sal, and Anubis. That one will probably be ending, simply because this world was reset, and I don't think Anubis and I really have the time to do a second entire series of Space Engineers in another world. It seems a little bit strange, because they're all the same settings, and a lot of the people that are there are here as well. So I think what we're going to do, and this isn't confirmed, but that is apparently my thing, just saying things that aren't confirmed and then annoying anybody who was partway. Yeah. Anyway, I think what's going to happen is that we're going to move that series over onto here, and the base, how we're kind of building a base in that one. If you watch that, it's just the five of us building a base pretty much, and the others building ships, and I'm building the base mostly. yeah, the others are building ships and going out and getting resources. We're just playing Space Engineers. So I think we might move that onto this one, and we'll make the communal station here the role of that little group. So the series will continue, but in this world. And we'll get to work setting up the communal platform for everyone, which is why I'm not doing it. I've left that just free, and I'm going to start my base up over here. So we will still have the 2 separate series. It's just that they'll both be on the same world. And I'm going to try and do some more collaborating with everyone. So, you know, helping others with their base and having them help me and their ships. And I'm looking for a mining partner, as I want to set up a little mining operation, maybe on another asteroid or something like that, sort of as the base of operations. Maybe I could set that up on the same asteroid, just on a different side, and have someone come in and help me build the drilling ships, because I'm really not very good at with mining ships, and I can set up the base for it, and we can go on some mining expeditions out into the never, see what that brings us, and can bring it back, and hopefully we'll have plenty of resources then. It'll be a bit of a joint venture, and we can go 50-50 in it. So I'm looking for someone to do that. I'll have to scour for partners. Yes, I don't really care. So this is how much I care. Anyway, I'm going to end here, because I think I've gone for far too long. So, goodbye.